What's going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Vikings are 7-1, getting it done, have the second best record, not only in the NFC, but as well as the NFL. Currently the 2 seed in the NFC, as well as running away with the NFC North division. But there's lots of questions. The Eagles, the only undefeated team left, 8-0, the only team to beat the Vikings this season, and it wasn't close week 2. Let's just admit it. But we mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. And the Vikings, they do have an outside shot of taking the 1 seed. The Eagles are going to have to stumble. So since the Eagles have the head-to-head, the Vikings will have to be a game clear of Philly at the end of the season to claim that 1 seed and the first-round bye. But is it doable? Is it feasible? Now, a lot has been made about the Eagles' schedule so far. It's almost like when you remember a couple years ago when the Steelers started out 11-0 and just, I mean, maybe it's a little bit like that, but Philly has been impressive, respect, and you play who you play. Like the Eagles don't pick their opponents; they're just luck of the draw in terms of rotation, in terms of seeding, in terms of whatever. So I don't really fault the Eagles for beating who is on the schedule. I mean, a win is a win, as we've seen in this league, as the Vikings won 6 one-score games in a row. So we're going to go through the schedules and see where the Eagles could trip up and where the Vikings could make up some ground. So week 10, I have weird faith. Even if Josh Allen plays, he's not going to be 100%. I think the Vikings match up very well with the Buffalo Bills. I think they're starting to roll on offense. They just need more consistency. That pass rush is legit. And whether it's Josh Allen back there, whether it's Case Keenum, don't care. I think they can get after the quarterback's ass. So I think the Vikings go out and shock the world. And Kirk Cousins coming back in like the Borat thong with all the necklaces on this trip back. Just a continuation of the road tradition. So the Eagles have the Commies at home Monday Night Football. Even though I like Taylor Heineke and the Washington pass rush is legit, I don't think they slip up. Not at home, not in prime time, not there. So the Vikings week 11 in the late window, you're going to have Romo and Nance, CBS, Vikings against the Cowboys 325. Now, this is going to be a pretty tough game. Even though it's at US Bank Stadium, even though they're going to be full-throated and loud and proud, I mean, Dallas, they can move the ball on offense. Defensively, they can get after it. Trevon Diggs is an absolute ball hawk, and Micah Parsons is going to be a problem. So I think that one's going to be tight. I think that one's going to be tight, but since the Vikings are at home, I think they do get that done, so they move to 9-1. I should have programmed one of those equations, but doesn't matter. They're at the Colts. That's gonna be a win. Although the NFL is super weird. Like, what if the Colts just beat the Eagles and then they lose every other game the rest of the year? I mean, that would just be hilarious. Short week, Thanksgiving, Vikings, Thanksgiving night, Thursday Night Football against the Patriots. Belichick is coming into US Bank Stadium. Mac Jones, whatever. But I think that Kevin O'Connell gets a win over his former team, as well as his former coach, the guy who drafted him, and then cut him after a year, Bill Belichick. So the Vikings move to 10-1 there. Eagles, yeah, they're going to beat the Packers. They're going to beat the Packers on Sunday Night Football at home. Also, it's weird, tiptoeing through the tulips, getting all these home games. It's weird how it works, right? Speaking of home games, Week 13, the Vikings are playing Jets, renewing the dumbest rivalry in sports history. And the Vikings are at home. Rob Salah's defense is legit. I do not trust Zach Wilson, especially around my mother. So I'm going to take the Vikings in this spot. So they will move to 11-1. I'm doing my math right, correct? Like I haven't missed a game. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 11-1 there. Then the Eagles hosting the Tennessee Titans. Now Tannehill could be back by then, but I don't think it fixes things. They still don't have any receivers. I mean, they can get after the passer. The defense is legit, as you saw in Kansas City. 9 straight possessions without a score for the Chiefs at Arrowhead, which is insane. And this one could be a little bit tough. Even though the Titans are going to be on the road, I think that Mike Vrabel does very well in situations like this. I think Derrick Henry has really come back into his own. I think they give the Eagles their first loss of the season. So the Vikings and the Eagles knotted up at 11-11, but of course, like we said, the Eagles do have the head-to-head, so the Vikings have to be a game clear. Vikings going to go on the road. TJ Hawkinson's going to score 17 touchdowns. They move to 12-1 on the season at Detroit. St. Detroit, man, the Super Bowl. And then the Eagles at the Giants. This one is going to be a pretty good game because the Giants are rolling along 6-2 off the bye. Brian Daboll's got them playing extremely good football at this moment in time. I think that pass rush is legit. Offensive line is studly. I mean, if Daniel Jones can actually compile like any semblance of a decent game, maybe. And then Saquon Barkley run the ball. I think that even though the Eagles are phenomenal rushing the passer. I mean, if you got to identify a weakness, maybe it's stopping the run. I'll look at Detroit week 1. It's possible. So I think that they ride Saquon just the way that the Titans rode Derrick Henry to a victory. So the Eagles actually dropping 2 in a row. Ooh, looky, here comes Sookie. Now the Vikings are in the driver's seat. They're up a game. They have the 1 seed in their back pocket with 4 games to go. They got a win versus the Colts at home. So move 13-1, getting it done. Then the Eagles are at the Bears. That one actually could be a little bit sportier than you would think, especially with Justin Fields playing out of his mind right now, and as well as, like we said, about the Eagles stopping the run, even though that defense is legit. Let's be honest here, but I think the Eagles get a win there, so that is then 12-2. Then you got the Giants at home. I ain't going to give the Vikings edge here because I'm biased as well. It is a home game. The Vikings 5 out of 6 games at home, which certainly helps. 141 wins, which would be a record or something. And then the Eagles at the Cowboys. This one's going to be tough. This one's going to be super sporty there. I think they could potentially drop one on the road. So we'll give an edge to the Cowboys in this spot. So the Eagles now drop to 12-3. Then we got 2 games left. Packers, Bears. I mean, the Packers game is going to be whatever. They will have packed it in. I would actually be surprised if Rodgers plays. Maybe he just quits. So the Vikings end up 16-1. And then the Eagles, 2 final home games. We'll say they win those games, and then they end up 14-3. Now, obviously, this is a biased purple Kool-Aid, rose-colored glasses type projection for the Vikings, just winning 15 straight games to end the regular season. But there are spots where the Eagles could struggle down the stretch. The Titans game week 13 is one of them, especially Derrick Henry keeps rolling. At the Giants or at the Cowboys or at the Bears, I think that triad of 3 road games could actually be tough because, like I said, the Bears, they're not winning games, but they're playing some pretty tough football right now. So Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Titans, that quadrant of games, I think that could be a chance for the Eagles to slip up maybe once, maybe twice. And as long as the Vikings continue to hold serve, they could have a chance to get back in this thing. But like I said, they have to be a game clear of the Eagles because Philly does have the head-to-head, but never say never. Don't let good be the enemy of great. The Vikings are a good team right now. It is very good to have the 2 seed. It would be great to have the 1 seed. And the Eagles, doesn't look like that train's running out of steam, but we've seen teams sort of hit the NOS a little bit too early in the season and then just sort of trip down the stretch. Hoping for that. Hoping they hit that hurdle, man. But that's it. Can the Vikings catch the Eagles for the 1 seed? Question mark. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.